Hi, Dav here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series, and today we're going to be doing a voiceover of this study I did of this like anime girl who's wearing some kind I think she's some kind of wizard or witch, not sure. She kind of reminds me of that character from Mushoku Tensei, the one with purple hair. I think the first love, I guess, of Rudy, his teacher. I forgot her name, but she's so cute. Anyway, so the reference I was using for this study was, yes, I do believe it's AI, but I don't really care because it was really cool. But yeah, in a way, I was proud of this painting just because I was kind of like whenever I do stuff, sometimes it just reminds me of shit. Like I can actually do something in my life. Like I'm not a fully incompetent person. Like I'm actually kind of decent, you know? And I think, just a side note, I think you probably have skills that you haven't really like paid attention to, but you do have them. And you want to recognize that. But even if you don't, eventually it's going to come up. And when it does come up and you do realize that, oh shit, I'm actually kind of cool. You want to savor that. Anyway, so for when I was sketching this or painting this, I was using one brush. It's like a flat brush. And I think it helps when you're trying to do studies when you don't overcomplicate the process. So having one brush I think just helps. And when I blend, I do the traditional meaning it's like the old school typical way of blending, where you don't use really like a mixer brush or a blending tool or a smudge tool. You're using the opacity of your brush alongside the pen pressure of your pen to sort of adjust the lightness or darkness or the value of something, right? So to blend things out, you kind of do it stroke by stroke, and you use pen pressure as you do it, or you lessen the pen pressure to make the strokes lighter. And I think it's a much faster way to do things. And I think if you're a painter, this is already normal to you. But if you are more of a draftsman, more of a line person, line art kind of artist, that's the mentality. You don't always have to use like a mixer brush. And I think if you're a draftsman or you're more line based, I think doing painting this way is going to be a lot more easier, only because when you're blending stuff, it's almost as if you're sketching with a color pencil. Like you're doing it stroke by stroke, so you're technically focusing on just lines when you do this sort of approach or technique. So I think this will be a good fit for you. And oftentimes when this painting approach is done, or when you're painting in general, it's not always going to be pretty in the beginning. It's going to be somewhat random, and it does get a lot more tighter as you develop or work on the painting. And I think I heard this also from, I was watching like a stream of like Pluvium Grandis before, and he did mention this. You don't have to like have this said to you, but it's just nice to just hear it from someone else who's not you. But he also pointed out that in the beginning it's gonna be kind of ugly, and you just have to keep pushing through until it sort of makes sense in the end. But you have to keep pushing through until it makes sense. So at the beginning it's gonna feel it's not totally random, but it's gonna be somewhat vague. And as you keep painting the thing, like in a way, like the painting sort of reveals itself. Like it unblurs a bit and it becomes more clear. It becomes tighter, more sharper as you go along. I do recommend when you're using a flat brush, you don't have to do this. And I know it's sad, but some of your tablets don't have a pen tilt, which is a crime, right? But it is what it is. You know, use the tools you have. But I think one of the best things I've gotten from having this like pen display, it's like an XPPen. What I have right now is an XPPen Artist 22 something, second generation. It's not like the newer models where the pen is also different, but it's a good one. There's another version, the older version, but this tablet right now is like the in between the old version with the old logo and the new one. So yeah, I'm happy with it. It's only 1920 by 1080, but it's a solid freaking tablet. And if you want like a cheaper tablet, just buy this one, right? You don't need it. You don't need the newer versions if you're poor like me. Anyway, what I did like, because if you're gonna have a pen display, might as well have like pen tilt you know, because I think I had, or I also, like, I'm using the monitor right now, or I'm using it as a monitor, but my other monitor is an XPPen as well, but it's the, I forgot, like you have to charge the pen, like that tablet. It doesn't even have pen tool. It's so fucking bad, but whatever. But it's still useful as like a monitor. Anyway. But yeah, with this kind of painting style, you do have to, you want to see things via shapes, I think. So as much as I did mention earlier that when you're shading, it can feel like you're drawing with a pencil. However, you still have to change. You need to have like a painter's eye, and painters tend to focus more on like values and shapes. I mean, people who draw do see shapes as well, but it's a bit different, right? But there's some similarity, obviously, but it's approached in a different kind of way. So when you're painting, you're usually adding the stroke first. It's usually going to be like a big stroke, and then you sculpt the edges away until you find or make the shape or the silhouette you want. And for this kind of approach that I'm doing, I don't use the erase tool. I don't erase the edges. What I do is I simply paint or select the white from the background, and then I paint over that. So I know that can be somewhat annoying if you have multiple techniques and you have like a lot of layers. It can be annoying to fix afterward, but if you're just painting, doing a study, I think it's a lot faster when you do things this way. Oh, also, when I color pick, I don't use any keys for this. Like I use the button of my stylus to do it. I've learned to do this since forever. Because I think I was watching like a Feng Shui video, and he would always use the Alt key to color pick. But to me, that was so annoying. Why do I have to keep selecting the Alt button in Photoshop? So thankfully, with my genius mind back then, I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna make the first button of my stylus the color picker, right? I believe in Clip Studio Paint, it's like the right click for the mouse, so that's it. Just set that button as the key for your, or the command, I guess, for your first button. And since then, that's my process. It just makes things a lot easier. Now, if you're a drawer or you're more line based, maybe the color picker won't be as useful. If you're gonna use it once in a while, then maybe not. But if you're a painter, or if you like painting a lot, or just adding color to your work, I think you have to do this. You have to do this. I think it's like a secret sort of technique that will like triple X your progress. Because I think constantly clicking the button or your keyboard for like the color picker is so freaking dumb. But you know, thankfully back then I had like a mind, you know, of like Mega Mind's mind. Anyway, I also when I'm color picking, I'm also not color picking from the photo. I'm sort of just eyeballing it, and I think this is a good thing to do, just because it trains your eye, right? Because when you guess a color and you add it in, you will immediately realize if it's close or not. Because all you have to do is just look at your actual reference, and then look at your reference. You look back at your actual like painted stroke or painted color, and you will see that something is if something is off, or if something is like close enough. But to me, my mentality, oh my god, my mentality is close enough. Like I'm not gonna be Mr. Perfect here and just try to get. I'm not trying to copy the image. You know, I just want to get the vibes, right? I mean, yes, I'm heavily referencing the image, but I'm not gonna be like super tight with it. And thankfully, I think I've been succeed. Oh my god, I've been succeeding. I've been succeeding in this. Because I had this problem in the past where if I had a reference, I would copy it like 1:1 to the point where like I'm basically a human printer, which is not my goal. But for those of you who start with observational drawing or painting, that's usually how you this is like a common thing. So because I want to transition or expand my skill sets, not just in terms of like I don't want to just do observational stuff. I want to do imaginative work as well, and I think this is like a good transition to that, where yeah, I'm referencing something, but I'm not like so scared to deviate from it. So I think I'm making progress. You know, the way I paint right now, just looking at my painting, It kind of reminds me of not just Pluvium Grandis, but also another guy. Just the vibes, like the way the skin was rendered. The skin was rendered. Because I think for their work, oftentimes the skin is like highly exposed, meaning you can see a lot of white in their skin. I did an art review of this artist, Nieva Art or Kanji something. So just search for Nieva Art or Kanji, and I think you will find their work somewhat, like it's similar to what I'm doing right now. But they're way better just because they've done it more times, and I'm just I'm getting into the habit of just showing up to do my arts. But yeah, I'm very proud of this, by the way. And because anime girl. I mean, who doesn't like anime girls, right? Or anime boys, or anime twinks. It reminds me of this meme I've been saying. I think she's a character from Honkai Star Rails. By the way, by the time this video is out, it's gonna be like outdated perhaps, but because I schedule these videos in advance. But as of this recording, there's like a meme going around of this like character from Honkai something Star Rail, and she's like dancing, and the background music is like Russian, I think, like lonely. And I like saying that that animation. Whoever made that animation must be so proud of themselves right now, just because it's a viral thing. Hopefully it's still viral by the time this video is out. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you want the brushes, check the links below for my Gumroad. Feel free to check my Patreon as well if you want more stuff. And yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.